Welcome to another episode of Four Kings Podcast. Back like cook crack with more sauce than a Big Mac. It's your boy, C-Mac.
Right, bud.
How you gonna skip the game?
Because I got the gifts. Don't worry about it.
God, it's just Jay.
Don't act like you ain't got no home training.
I don't.
Oh, man.
Anyway, shout out to as you can see, we are not with Kat tonight, but we did make sure we had another female presence in the building. We got that feminine energy. We getting it right. We getting it tight. Shout out to the homie from the God. Man, it's just so good to have you in the building. By the way of TSU, by the way of H-Town Zone, we got my girl, Nene.
What's up, y'all? How y'all feel?
Yo, and if it's your first time rocking with us, please like, comment, share, subscribe, follow. Spotify, Apple, Google, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. Hey, we rocking it everywhere. All right. And I'd be remiss if I did not say this one goes out to Taylor. We're coming up on the 3rd year of her anniversary of her death. If you don't know, it's still justice for Taylor McCowan. I really don't have anything else to say about that, behind that. But again, I appreciate everybody for the support. I appreciate everybody for just being here with us in this moment. It's a tough time for my family, and we're still rocking, we're still sticking. Appreciate it. So I really got to jump off into it first and foremost. I'm gonna turn it over to Nene. She can really let you know about who she is, what she do. Like, I mean, it's the homie. I'm talking about from the yard. And you know, if you went to HBCU, like we went to HBCU, you know, everybody know everybody. And if you went, goddamn it, you family, but you had to graduate. We don't fool with the motherfuckers that don't graduate. You know,
Right.
they be all at homecoming and shit. You know. Like, did you graduate? Nah. But yeah, tell the folks about you, Nay.
My government name is Natalia, but everybody call me Nay, or people from the hood call me Nene. I graduated from D Texas Southern University. While I was there, I was student body president.
Show enough.
I was student body president. I was also a member of the world-renowned, internationally acclaimed Texas Southern University debate team.
By Dr. Thomas F. Freeman.
R.I.P. to my nigga Thomas. But other than that, I was just a round the race student. Grew up here in Houston, Texas, Northside, Fifth Ward, hold it down. That's me. I'm glad to be here. I was in the hospital yesterday.
Yep.
Had been in the hospital. I've been in the hospital the last 3 weeks, just about. I actually have end-stage renal disease, so I'm actually on the donors list to get a kidney. So just a little bit about that. I always like to try to educate people on, a little bit something about the whole kidney and being an organ donor. Now, I'm going to tell you what's really funny. When I was in undergrad, we had to take speech communication.
Right.
And the topic that we had to write a persuasive speech, and I picked mine on the importance of organ donation in the African-American community. This is almost 20-some years ago. And so after the research I did, I was so compelled about the statistics of African-American organ donation that I became an organ donor. And so here we are, fast forward, and nigga, I need an organ. I was like, God has such a sense of humor, you know what I'm saying? Like, the rest of them I can still give away, but that kid is gone. So, but yeah, I've been on dialysis for about 2.5 years now. I do a form of dialysis called peritoneal dialysis. So I have a machine that's at home. I can do it at home. And I chose that method because it still gives me a little bit of freedom because I can travel with my machine or whatever. I actually lived in New York for 8 years. So I still have ties there because I still work for the state of New York. So I do fly up there from time to time. So this allows me to, be a little bit more mobile. But I entered kidney failure, and it just went on downhill from there. So I actually have a donor. They're actually going through the process. So prayerfully, you know,
Everything works out.
everything works out. And I can get off
It
of this.
will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's done. It's already done. So
For real.
he
You'd have been a
just-
soldier for this long.
I
Like,
know. I was
yeah.
like, dog, I'm tired of this shit. Like this. Because I stay in and out the hospital. You know what I'm saying? It's, like,
I
it's kind
know.
of hard to have a regular life. You know what I'm saying? When you in and out the hospital, you never know when you're gonna feel like, normal. You know what I'm saying? I may wake up tomorrow and feel like I'm about to die. You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult. But I encourage people to become organ donors, do the research, because Black folks is quick, I'm going with what I was born with. You know what I'm saying? They was like, I'm taking it to the dirt. But what
We
this gonna
sure
do?
will.
You know
We
what?
sure will.
That was never my problem with being a donor. Honestly, my problem was, will they let me die to give my organs to somebody?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I watch too much CSI and stuff, so I be like,
you have a better chance of a nigga robbing you and stealing your organs than some of them letting you die and just take your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's those kind of myths that people, hold on to that makes it, and when I ask people, why don't you, want to be an organ donor? When you die, you can't do nothing with them. And they're going to yank them out anyway and just put them in trash. You might as well.
Yeah, they just put them in the bag and then sew them back up in
They
your
sew them
chest.
back in you. So, you can donate, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidney, your eyeballs. Like, it's a
That's
lot of parts of
crazy.
your body that you could donate and you could extend your life. I just looked at it like, if somebody, just say if I donated, I was able to donate all my organs, nigga, I'm still here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You living on through somebody else. Right.
you know what I'm saying? I'm blessing somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I just think it's, and not to be offensive, but I just think it's a little kind of like selfish. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because even like, people like, well, what if I need both of my kidneys? Well, first of all, you can live with only one kidney.
Right.
I know people that were born with one kidney and they drink and smoke just like regular people, no problem. And then the other thing is, I just figured if God gave you two, it was just so you can have a backup. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Shit,
maybe
Sean
because
Elliott.
you knew somebody was gonna need one. You know what I'm saying?
Like I was telling you on your live, I was like, Sean Elliott, he used to play for the San Antonio Spurs. His brother gave him a kidney so he can continue, because he stepped away from basketball because his kidneys had failed.
Mhm.
So yeah, his brother hooked up. They dialysis for the rest of his life just so he could get it. So I mean,
boy, say, man, look, go get the bag. Just take care
Yeah,
of yourself.
right.
Every time I ask you, what
Right.
do I? Can I get that out for you?
But
Right.
see, but that's
Yeah,
one
gave
of
you
my
a kidney.
fears. Is like whoever, because I don't know who the donor is. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, or whatever they, are anonymous right now. But I was like, what if it's some nigga that's been, trying to holler? This nigga want me to give him some head or something, for the kid. And like, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Or it's my crackhead uncle, and so every time I see this nigga, I gotta give him $20. You know, I don't know.
Hey, let me get that 20 for that kid.
Right, like nigga, a nigga gave you a whole kidney, son. Like, oh man, like, right. But yeah, do your research, man. Do your research. Don't let myths and just ignorance, prevent you from being able to. And that's my little PSA. That's all.
that's what's up, and we appreciate you. I really appreciate you for sharing your story, because a lot of people don't know that about you. A lot of people need to hear that, and just bringing an awareness to that, because there's a lot of, you all right. We be like, shit, I need all my stuff with me on the next trip. You don't know where I'm end up at.
And believe it or not, this kidney donation. Kidneys is the most needed organ,
Wow.
Yeah.
and everybody got two. So it's just kind of like it shouldn't be that great of a need
Right.
if you can live with just one. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I mean, a lot of people don't know that it be people going through this and you never know. Because even with me, with the stuff that I do on Facebook when I be writing my long ass posts, I call them my laps. They be
Long
reading.
ass post.
Yeah. And they'll read it and you know what I'm saying? And they'll inbox me, but like, man, I've been waiting on the kidney or I'm on dialysis. It's like so many people that you would not believe are going through a lot of different, medical issues. So even with me sharing my story or whatever, which is what God spoke to me to do, it's been just mind-boggling just to know that it's so many people going through so many medical issues and they don't really speak on it or whatever because they, are embarrassed or, because they may think that they're the only person that's really, going through something crazy.
Right.
But, it's a lot of people that's going through.
What up, Dane? Appreciate you. He asking how everybody doing. You got to catch up, Dame. But everybody feeling good right now. Everybody's great. Everybody's in good spirits right now. We're gonna change. We're gonna switch the mood though when we talk about this dumbass shit right here though. It's a clip that's circulating right now. And y'all know how we are about being factual, about trying to at least promote the right things. Because if you know better, you do better. So it's a clip circulating around right now about this dude saying that Eddie Murphy's Life is the sequel to Harlem Nights. If y'all don't quit entertaining that dumbass shit, Eddie Murphy is a genius. I'm not taking nothing away from him. If you didn't see You People, go check it out. It was pretty funny.
Mhm.
But what he does is, and he's done it in a lot of different movies, he'll take other characters or he'll take a character from another movie and put him in a movie that ain't got nothing to do with that at all.
Alan, what's it? Alan Sanders?
Adam Sanders.
There it is.
Mm.
One of them. He do that.
All the
Like,
time.
Yeah, but again, not saying there's nothing wrong with it. What I'm saying is stop promoting this false narrative. That's.
I mean, but you already know when people getting high, they think of the dumbest shit. Like
Nah, because remember he had said he knew a big woman that could fight, that could hit, and he was talking about
yeah.
He said, I know a bitch named Della that hit harder than you. He said that in life. Okay, that's a lot. I mean, Della.
Yeah, that's just a callback. In
That's
comedy,
all.
we call that a callback. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean,
that don't necessarily mean that the two are necessarily
they tie into each
affiliated.
other. Like
That's what I'm saying. So
I don't
Did
know.
Eddie Murphy say it?
nah.
Well, then it ain't true.
I don't know.
Like now, remember when he did Coming to America, and then he had the two white dudes from Trading Places,
Yeah.
and then he did that, but he kept us. It was all in
but
that.
even in Trading Places, they was homeless.
Nah, they
They
They was
did.
the rich ones. They turned homeless.
Yeah, they turned homeless, right? Yeah.
So I mean, shit happens. That's how I look at it.
True that.
Hell,
Yeah, hey, he got what he wanted out of it. Niggas to talk about.
it gave
Is
y'all
it,
ass
well?
an aha moment.
Yeah, because I think people just be saying shit for likes
That's
Oh,
to try to
yeah,
go
they do.
viral or
We say that all the time.
Yes.
We say that all the
They do.
time. Like people.
That's just like the
get
girl,
shot.
the 16-year-old girl with the Tesla. I think that was staged.
That had to
What
be.
happened with the 16?
Because I would have slapped the
Some
shit out of them. I'm
parents
sorry.
I
gave
would've
her a Tesla
stomped
for
her
birthday.
Oh yeah. They gave her the Tesla. She didn't want it.
Yeah, I
She
would have
wanted to
stomped a mud hole in that little girl. I'm like, are you serious? Get out of
Like,
here.
you
Baby,
really
no.
Rifle? Okay. You bring
Uh-huh.
your ass this little pink bike.
No,
I'd have gave her ass a Metro Pass. How about
I
that?
ain't
Yeah,
giving you
that too.
shit.
You know
get
these
that
kids
for
soft these days. They can't even
free.
ride
I'ma
the
drive that
metro.
every day.
Man, I done brought
I
you a
would have
hoe.
died
Tesla?
for a car at 16,
For
bro.
real.
Like I was on the Metro.
I rode the bus till I was a freshman in college, bro.
Hell yeah.
And got that car that second semester. Oh, it was on then.
Man, I remember I thought my grandma had bought me a car at 16. It was a old school Pontiac. It was like the little 2-door.
Sunfire.
Yeah, I was excited as shit. And she was like, that ain't for you.
Yeah.
That's mine, baby. Granted,
But
needs the wheels.
it was just the fact that I thought it was my car. I
Yeah.
didn't care what it was. It
I
was
just,
my
man,
car.
Right.
not these kids.
I was gonna be flipping that mug to school and everything.
Everything.
You already
It was
knew
mine.
who was gonna ride it. All you gotta do is tint the windows. I'll be good. Like,
It's,
I may let you drive it to school every now and then.
I wish I did get a Tesla.
A car at 16. Man, please.
So
I
we're
barely
gonna
had bus fare.
stay in that same vein of school, right? In the school bus.
Oof.
And before we go any further, shout out to prayers up to Turkey. That earthquake killed 11,000 people, man.
God damn.
So prayers up.
That's crazy.
You just never know.
But didn't it hit Turkey and Syria?
Turkey, Syria. Yep. Mhm.
Shit.
So yeah, it's everybody just, hey man, it really ain't nothing you can say about that at this point. I mean, it's like you just don't know who, where, when, what, how, or why.
That's why I couldn't live in California.
Mm-mm.
You little random earthquake. I've been to shit though myself.
I want to try one. I want to try one.
Nah, I'm cool. Treat it like a roller coaster. I didn't want to try it.
I be in Cali
Oh.
sometime. I want to just a little one. Just a little
cool.
tremor, just to see what it do.
I'm getting on the first thing.
I don't want shit to fall on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no buildings crashing or no shit like that.
Let me go.
Give me give me a tremor. I want a tremor.
I go to visit and something happen. What you doing? Oh, we finna go.
I'm
I'm
going.
going to the airport.
Keep me right here. I'm used to the hurricanes.
That's it.
But see, I can't swim, so shit. I don't need no hurricane. I got good balance.
I mean, I done tried to teach all my kids to float.
Yeah.
Like I done told them, if it
I
floods,
dog
they're
paddle
meant for
like a mug.
themselves, damn it.
If it's
You gotta
flooded,
float.
Wow.
Y'all ain't shit.
I could
You better get your ass on top of something.
They gonna get on top of you.
No,
You gonna be
no,
the
no.
vacation
Better
spot.
float.
No.
You better float.
You better get that damn
Yeah.
couch and flip that bitch over and
They-
get on top of it.
They gonna give your ass a straw. Put your head under the water.
No. And unfortunately, the only one that done caught on is my daughter.
Well, hey,
I told them boys, y'all better grab something.
you ain't never too old. But sticking with that same lane before we segued off in that with school, you know, that situation happened in Aldine with the little boy on the bus, man. For those who don't know, you know, a 6-year-old boy was sexually assaulted on a bus in Aldine ISD. One of the things about the situation, it was a lot of speculation about what happened, but one of the things that I keep coming back to it. Why was a 13-year-old on a bus with a 6-year-old?
So in Aldine District, they have now put, like, it's no longer an intermediate school. So you now have the elementary school, which can include pre-K up to 4th grade. And then, no, I'm sorry, up to 5th grade.
Oh, wow.
6th grade is now back at middle school. So it's no more pre-K through 4th, then 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th. They took that away. So that could be one reason as to why the 13-year-old was on the bus with a 6-year-old. Now, I will say this, because when my oldest son was in elementary, his school was more so like a magnet school. So you had 3 different schools on one bus.
Okay.
But at that time, they were supposed to have like preschool in the front, this grade,
Right.
and then this grade.
Right.
So in that situation, somehow an older kid ended up in the seat with my son. And the older kid actually was bullying my son.
Right.
And we got it on camera where like he was shoving my son into the
Window.
The window.
Yeah.
So when it got back to me, the bus driver did get fired because I'm like, first off, my child was sitting in seat 2.
Right.
How the hell
How you ain't
how
see?
you didn't see my child crying? And
You
second of
didn't see
all, why?
You didn't see?
No, I didn't. But it's like, you know, why was this older child
Yeah.
in the seat with my son? So my question in that situation with the 6-year-old, why the hell was the 6-year-old way in the back of the bus?
So let me tell you that story. So I still don't understand how the 13-year-old was on the fucking bus in the
it
first
depends on
place.
their
Well, I'm
birthday.
gonna tell you why. My sister actually was an assistant principal in Aldine.
Okay.
She's an AP there, and Aldine doesn't. Their buses pick up all different grade levels.
Mhm.
So so that's why you'll have a bus full of all different grades because they don't. Apparently they don't have enough buses to just pick up elementary
They don't have
school.
enough drivers.
But yeah, they don't have enough drivers rather. So, they'll find because of how their schedules are made, it's easier for them to just go have a lot of like, elementary, middle, and a
Right.
high school for them to go, and pick up. So they don't have enough drivers. So, because even like at the school my sister was at, she's at a middle school there. Was at a middle school there. She had to create seating charts for her buses because she had students complaining about being bullied by the high school kids. So she decided to make seating charts for the buses that came to her school just to make sure that those kids didn't, because they were having sexual activity. Like it was out, a girl got in trouble. It was for having sex on the back of the bus.
But see, that story didn't make me to hurry up.
Oh yeah, no, because
Look at that. Look at God. Bam!
You know, but some of those things are such such
That was the ones
frequent
that you did.
occurrence.
They shit with.
Yeah, they fail.
That's all good.
But yeah, they don't have any. You know, it's just total chaos on the buses. So that's how a 13-year-old ended up on the bus with the 6-year-old.
Okay, so now that we got that piece out the way, I'm gonna explain this. So the 6-year-old, the 13-year-old was at the back of the bus, right? And he would see the 6-year-old, and he would tell him to come to the back and play the game. And they would play this game where he was
Fondling.
no raping him.
He was penetrating him
Oh,
Yes.
Lord.
On the bus.
on the
on
bus.
the bus.
Nobody seen this.
And when the
The
fight would
camera
break
don't
out,
really-
no, the camera did catch it.
Mm-hmm.
The camera caught it. 'cause
Camera caught it.
And so it was just more or less one of them situations like the bus driver. At what point is the bus driver? You knew all this commotion was going on in the back. Why didn't you investigate it?
Mhm.
And then not only that, why are you not making these kids, the younger kids, sit in the front
Right.
and the older kids in the back?
And the only reason why they found out what was going on, the
Because of the
6-year-old left his backpack.
Yep.
And they called up there to look to see if somebody had took the backpack, ran the tape back,
Right.
and saw what was going on the back of the bus.
Yep.
And kind of found out this has been going on for months.
Oh,
For at
Yeah.
least 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Nah.
then so then the other part of it is, well, why didn't this kid tell his parents?
He didn't know.
But at 6, like you wouldn't.
I guess
He could have, honestly, he probably was scared.
And yeah,
But-
he could have been scared
So
to say something.
nobody saw this. Like, I don't see nobody seeing what's
To be
going
But
on.
even in the
So-
incident where the girl was having sex with the boy on the back of the bus, these are middle school kids, and nobody said anything to them. The bus driver happened to get up to stop a fight or stop something that was, stop something that was going on in the back of the bus and caught them. So, and all the other people on the bus, they just would mind their business.
And it's like, as of right now, by Aldine being not having a lot of bus drivers, these bus drivers are just like, let me just get these kids off this bus.
that's horrible.
Let me just do my job and get them off the bus, because for one, it's really, let's say, something happens, you have a parent that's at the bus stop, the bus drivers, they only can protect themselves.
Right.
So it's like, if I got this parent at the bus stop that's trying to beat me up, or y'all gonna protect me if I defend myself, or if I have a child that lashes out and put their hands on me, am I gonna lose my job if I hit this child back for hitting me? So it's
Yeah,
like
the
they
bus
are
driver-
just thinking one way. Let me get these kids to where they supposed to be, and I clock out. I clock
So-
in, I clock out.
They saying the bus driver needs to be held accountable and fired, and I think they are firing the bus driver.
They probably are.
And they are holding the bus driver somewhat accountable. But at the same time, the district's going to absorb some of the liability because
Got to.
again, we have too many different policies, procedures in place,
Mhm.
and statutes about separation, age, and all this other stuff. And for y'all to be functioning like that because y'all are at a deficit, hey, I'm sorry, the principals and somebody going to have to get out of here and start driving some of these fucking buses, because it's no reason why all of this should be on the same
Mhm.
bus just to save $1.
But at the end of the day, that 6-year-old should not have been able to get up and go to the back of that bus.
That
You
too.
should have paid attention to that, because even when my mom was a bus driver, my mom was a bus driver. When her students,
My
would
mom was
get
a bus
on the-
driver too.
When they would get on the bus, she would stand up and watch them,
Yeah.
enter the bus and see where they're sitting. And if you're not
responsible.
sitting where you're supposed to sit, no, it was get up and go to your assigned seat.
Right.
And
That's how that was.
I used to go to school in Aldine when I was in elementary and middle school. And I remember I lived right behind the school, so I used to walk home. But I remember going home with my best friend at the time on the weekends, and I would ride the bus home with her. And we'd be on the bus. Even then, we talking about down there 40 years ago, 30 years ago. I remember being on the bus with like high school and middle school kids, and I was in the 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? So they've always have operated like that as far as I can remember.
I just remember it being like that when I lived in the country. When I lived in East Texas, that's how it was.
What boy?
Crockett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know black folks. Yeah, I got family that's in East Texas.
For sure. Be like my family out there.
On that bus, it come up the hill in the morning, pick everybody up, and it's like that one bus went so far, like that bus ride
That was
home.
the longest ride ever.
Oh my God. You get out of school 3:30, you want to make it home by 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Oh,
Because we got to go all through the, man.
yeah.
Real quick, I gotta do this real quick. Shout out to Kat. We letting the cat out the bag. Shout out to Kat. She couldn't be with us tonight. She's out there being on mommy duty. You know what I'm saying? She being a parent. We ain't never mad about that. As a parent, make sure you beat that ass. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, the district. I mean, the district's going to absorb the liability. The bus driver is going to be fired. It is under CPS investigation.
I just don't understand how.
Because I did see some stuff where people were saying that the parents should also be at fault.
How?
I don't know.
Because of who?
That the parents should also be at fault.
Yes, because okay, so and then to piggyback, because we did ask about that question, right? So my thing is I have conversations with my kids, right? And they ride the bus. My daughter's the same age as this little boy. And we've had those conversations about, hey, your body's your body, you know, these no zones, this and the third. So if something was to happen, it's like they gonna, you know, because I'm from the era where it's all right to kiss your kids on the mouth till you get to be a certain age. Mm-hmm. Well, that's one of the places me and my wife differentiate. She don't like, nah, I'm like, but so when I would kiss my daughter on the mouth, you know, I believe you, baby, blah, blah, blah. Mom, daddy kissed me on the mouth. So again, so I'm like, if my daughter telling that, I know it's, you know, the things that those things are being instilled in her. So that way, this situation, it should have been a point where this kid should have had that, you know, and again.
I mean, but it's honestly, every household is different. There's no telling what those parents have discussed with their 6-year-old.
Mm-hmm. You know, they may think it's too early,
right?
And that part too.
That's what I'm thinking. So I'm like, how can they be
like, I can't discuss that with my 6-year-old. Like, I can discuss, you know, the no zone and stuff like that. But if it's a boy, you're telling that little boy this is his no zone, right? Not back there.
No. So we had that conversation. I told both my kids.
Some parents.
We like UGK, back, front, back, side to side. Yeah, we talking about all that. So, but again, we hope that he gets all the counseling because he's gonna need some counseling. And we hope that eventually that the child that was doing this stuff gets the help that he needs too. Because at the end of the day,
then there's no telling what's going on to that child at his house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
that's what I was going to
say. Put his ass in jail.
They still need to put a foot in his ass.
Nah, in a situation like this, they're gonna give him a psychological evaluation. They're gonna put him in probably one of these.
He don't go to he 13, so Pegasus. He'll go to alternative school.
He'll probably go to Pegasus, which is like that lockdown facility for sexually abused kids and stuff like that. So yeah, he could probably be up in there, but we'll just see what happens. But again, hope everything work out. And that is Kat that's showing up as Facebook user. So
that's a page to do a scamming from.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, what? So man. I don't really have any. I can't.
But my sister was telling me about it. It just broke my heart.
It broke my heart too.
Like,
I almost cried because that's pitiful. That's pitiful.
My wife was like,
say is Aldi needs to get it together.
My wife was like, I need to talk to the kids. I said, sweetheart, I think we fine. But I mean, to make you feel at ease, go ahead and talk to the kids because I know it's some stuff that go on or whatever. But it's enough conversation and communication. Like I track my kids, so basically I got the little tracker watch thing with them. So So if anything happens, daddy, mommy, and they send the text messages and stuff like that. But not saying I told you.
You gotta be kidding.
I told you. I told you. You're just gonna go keep it. We just gonna end up playing.
Tic Tac Toe.
No, Donnie Hathaway. Donnie McClurkin.
Oh, when we
fall down, but we get up.
Yeah, we're gonna get this together. It's the wall.
Yeah,
it's the wall.
So yeah, and
I'm telling you, it look like Tetris, Pac-Man.
But yeah, so hopefully he gets all the help that he needs, because I don't. Hopefully everybody gets the help that they need and everybody's able to move forward. Let's talk about these Beyonce tickets, because apparently
Beyonce.
they've gotten a second show, so now the prices have started to go down.
She should have made $1 billion on this.
And
tour.
it's all about to be income tax money.
Well, Nate was telling me that
As a matter of fact, my friend, she just joined my live, Tawana. She got some Beyonce. She was the one I told you she had found some tickets for like $80.
in the nosebleeds.
Yeah, Tawana, how much your tickets were?
That shit I
$80?
was looking at was $1,800 for those.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. What they do is they buy
buy
them
them and
tickets
resell
and then they
them.
resell them,
Yeah.
and that's when they be expensive. Because I was trying to go to some concert last minute, and tickets that when I checked that first, the tickets was like $70, $80 for the section I wanted to sit in.
Right.
When I went back, they was $200. I was like, wait a minute, what happened to the $80 tickets? You know, whatever. So yeah, that's a little hustle right there. You go in there, you know.
But they be buying them with the bot too.
Yeah. So they'll buy up a bunch of tickets and
Boy, selling flow seats for like $18,000.
18,000. It's a couple thousand.
Yeah.
We was just talking about this at work, and I was just like, no shade to the Beehive at all. Y'all do what you do. But I just can't see myself paying that type of money. Like that just I just can't. Like it was one concert she did where she was walking through the water, and it was somebody that was there, was a guy that was there, and he got splashed by the water, and he was just like, I'm not gonna watch any of this. And I'm like, for what? It's just fucking water. But it's because it's Beyonce had walked through that water.
you'd be surprised how crazy some fans,
I've never been.
these are fanatics,
like
for real
that.
fanatics.
Right.
Yeah.
Like how
About
people was
anything.
passing out by Michael Jackson and all
Okay,
that.
pause.
I can't.
'Cause
We
I
love
was,
you, Micah.
I was watching it on the
My
TV.
God.
No.
I remember being a little kid and my parents rented it on the pay-per-view, and I fell out in front of the TV. I fell, oh my God, I'm hugging the TV screen. I'm 6, 7 years old or whatever.
I've just never been like impressed by seeing another human like that.
Yeah, I'm not. And I met a lot of celebrities, but I done met Beyonce here. I met Beyonce. I've went to one of her concerts. One of my good friends, she used to work for Tina Knowles.
Okay.
And one of her concerts she did, she gave me like 10 tickets to Beyonce concert, and they were third row center. So we had damn good seats. And she puts on the show. I ain't gonna lie. She puts on a damn show. But this is what's really crazy. I didn't know how much of a Beyonce fan I was until I went to that damn concert. Because this was the one where she came from under the ground. So we all sitting there, whatever. They played a little music. And when that bitch came from out that ground, I said, bitch, I started hollering and screaming. I was embarrassed. I was like, hold up, chill out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But she put on a good concert, you know, like, and for some people, if you go to, I was like, well, shit, I haven't been to a concert, so I don't have to go to no more. You know what I'm saying? But, I guess those are just life experiences that you cannot,
Yeah.
So
And I mean, I've definitely heard like none of her shows are the same. Like it's never the same. But I just
No,
wouldn't
I
be there.
mean,
I would.
I'm like,
Now, I'd have paid a
$200.
couple of $100. I'd have paid a couple of $100, but I wouldn't have paid a couple of $100 for no nosebleeds.
That's what
I'd have gave him that $80 that my homegirl got them tickets for $80. I'd have dropped them
That's
80.
understandable.
Yeah, I'd have did 80 because that's a concert tickets run about that much. Shit, everyone,
Right.
Isaac Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire 1 and 3.
Oh yeah, they get 250, 300 easy,
Yeah,
and it's gonna be packed.
yeah.
And they ain't gonna and they showmanship ain't even nearly where it was.
They be sitting on stools and shit.
They gonna give you a little bit.
Y'all can't say they be
Y'all
sitting on
want to go
stools.
see anybody? Believe it or not, go see.
So I didn't even like the
Go see
album,
who?
so it's a
Kim.
no for me.
Really?
Only once one could have got that type of money from me. His dad is they talking about Prince.
Prince. Oh shit, Prince got all my money.
Prince just, they tell you like they say no, they don't look him in the eyes.
little bitty man.
Prince would have got all my money. I'd have whatever he want. I would have paid. I'd have paid.
I'm gonna tell you who. I've never been like enamored enough to be one to go pay that kind of money to go see nobody.
I mean, I support it.
I feel like the
I like
only
going to
the
concerts.
only concert that I would pay some money for to go back to would have been the Bad Boy concert that they did here in Houston, and it was a damn good concert. But what
So
got
first of
me
all,
was
Diddy
when
gonna perform
DMX
anyway.
No, it wasn't even about Diddy.
I'm just
But
saying,
when
but he's a showman.
DMX came out, I damn near lost my mind.
Yeah.
I
This
lost
before
my
he
mind.
had the pot belly, or like afterwards.
This was
Yeah, they were
afterwards.
recently, huh?
Yeah,
that
this
they
was maybe
did
like
that
a couple
concert.
years back.
He had the pot
Like
belly.
that was a damn good concert, and plus I'm a little Kim fan. But
Yeah.
Little nasty ass.
you know, I'll be in that
Wanna
mug.
run with the beat, huh?
You
Yeah.
know, I'll be in that mug popping it with her, whatever. But I would definitely pay some money to go back for that concert.
And all these folks that paid that money for the tour for the streets. Oh my God. And
Y'all
then
wrong for doing my man like that.
and walking out on
Really,
Ross. Yeah.
Y'all wrong, but it's
I thought
okay,
it was
Daddy.
fake.
No, it's
Then I
real.
heard from somebody that went there. They was like, "Nah,
No, they
boys
did.
trying to get up out of there.
That
They
boys-
went on real late.
exactly.
That was the
Exactly.
longest
So they
concert.
took
It was
their
a very
time
long
coming
concert.
out too. So
That was like when I went to the Raheem Devine concert. Hey, that nigga wanted to hit on stage at midnight. I'm like, yeah. On a Sunday? Oh,
niggas
nah.
gotta work. See, look, niggas gotta work in the morning. I'll be in this whole sleep in a little
I ain't
bit.
gonna be no more good. The dude, I told you, the dude next to me.
I'm just here because my white baby come and they sleep. I mean, hey,
Baby.
I went to that
Oh,
No
I was
Limit
doing-
concert. It started late, but then the way, I mean, of course, Mystical rocked that bitch. I mean, he had you in that mug like he was the best performer, of course.
If only he can stop raping people.
Ah.
I was waiting. I was gonna let her finish.
Look,
Man.
well, in the song he say he talk about he had to come up with my dick in my hand. So I mean,
He told you what he do.
he tell you what he do. Lord bless his heart.
That
I
was
don't even
one of his
understand
best
why you feel the
songs.
need to rape him, because you don't have to rape me. I'll give you some.
Some people just got that thrill of taking it.
Yeah, I guess so. That's crazy. Yeah.
It's a power trip. That's
You
what they
just
say
don't take
psychologically.
it high. That's
Ain't
That's
nobody.
crazy.
Ain't nobody saying about Webby talking about he don't take it.
Nah, Webby
Oh.
was aggressively
Give
telling
me
you to
that.
give it
Like,
to him.
the whole
That-
song.
That I
And
mean,
y'all
but
love
Give me that.
Y'all
girl.
at the club
technically,
singing
he
it.
Give me
didn't
that.
take it. He told you give it.
Yeah, he
He
said-
didn't just take it. He told you to give it.
Kevin Gates.
Now he actually
He said,
said,
"Give
"I
me
will
that."
take that."
Now Kevin Gates is a little rapey on that on the new shit.
No, not too much on Kevin now.
Kev, yeah, that's a wild boy.
Kevin, what do you
Not
say?
too much on Kevin.
Put your dick on in a stomach.
Kevin now.
Like, whoa,
I'll take Kevin with the feather.
Kev, say.
I would
What's that?
say I would
Man,
take
my old lady ain't been at the house, man.
I would take Kevin with the feather now. Yes, I will.
I'm not mad at Kevin Gates getting money, dog. I actually fuck with Kevin Gates, but that song is very aggressive.
Even on that,
Even when he come off
That
trying to be
Super Gremlin?
romantic or something, he be like, "Bitch, I fucking love you.
nigga talk, dog.
Right,
I
that's
suck the soul out your pussy, yeah."
That's just
All
how
right.
So
he
you look, and they
is.
like, "Help." Okay.
All right.
You know, next thing you know, that's just how it is. I don't know. Can't explain it. Yeah,
Again,
that's just music nowadays. Just like he said, it's not Robitussin, it's rubbing touch.
here we go.
That nigga said rubber
That
touch.
nigga said rubber
He
testing like
definitely said Robitussin.
trying to clean that shit.
Because next thing you know, you was talking about
Percocet
and
and Molly, yeah.
You said Robitussin. It's okay. It's okay. You was probably a little sick that day.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to go to the Janet Jackson concert, but it's at the Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion in June.
Oh, it's gonna be
It's
hot
gonna
as
be,
hell.
boy, folks are gonna be feeling like a pack of goddamn hot dogs.
First of all, how you gonna do Janet like that?
Outside.
Why you gonna put her out there in the woodlands? Like,
But
She could-
Janet gonna cut that real short.
man, I think
Nah.
the tickets might have
She
sold out in
looking
2
like-
She
days.
gonna be. It's gonna be one of them ones. It's starting in the
Last
afternoon
time.
or late in the evening,
Mhm.
and really pick up at night.
Yeah, no,
Once
I
it
think it's
cool
a
down.
nighttime one. Yeah, but it's still
'Cause it's gonna be-
humid as
yeah.
hell.
They're gonna make sure them fans
Oh,
working and
mosquitoes.
everything.
Oh yeah, I saw one. I still I so
Yeah,
wanted to go, but I was like, I'm not gonna do this humidity.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Janet, you know, one of her concerts, but
I watched it.
I only just want to see one song,
What?
and that's the song where what is it? Fuck.
Well, she pull a nigga on stage to dance on.
Yeah, that's the only one I want to see, and after that I'm
touch you,
gone.
tease you all.
Yes, like,
Yeah.
I just want to see that.
I just want.
I don't need to go to that part.
Yeah.
Like I just want to see
touching and
that.
singing on me like that. Janet, you cool and all, but just the interaction itself, I'm on stage just wife man.
Well, you know, Coily Ray had brought some dude on the stage and he grabbed her. Well, he touched on her. She's get this mother.
I ain't gotta touch it.
But
She
that's
touching me.
that's the reason why when Janet performs that song,
They
you are
strap you
strapped down.
to a table, damn.
Yes. And I mean, I just want to see just that one performance, and then I'm gone after that.
But see, this is my thing, and then I guess it's a double standard. Because as a man will invite a woman on stage, like Tank get them on stage and be doing all of the extra stuff, and they be rubbing all on them, and you just. Ah! But if you touch on a woman and there's hey, it's over. You got to go.
Hey, you
gotta
don't
go.
want to be touched unless you want to be
She
touched.
got strip club rules.
But I do feel like as a male performer, you can't set your standards.
Yeah, because
You can
men
say
can
it.
make that decision not to want to be touched.
Right.
Just like, but men,
Shit,
they just
Kevin
but
Gates.
niggas want to be touched. That's why they brought him on stage. In my
I
opinion,
think just make it a good show for Tank.
yeah, that just makes it. Because I saw him
He
in the
gonna take the
concert,
shirt off.
He actually
And
in
they
concert,
get- right.
He gonna take that
and when he took that shirt off,
He's a good performer too.
that stage got bum rushed. The moment he took this shirt, I mean, people was already up there, but once he took that shirt off,
He gonna have to get
they like to knock me down.
I went to
When
his
we-
concert, what's it? Last year? Whatever concert he did
He
in
gonna be in
Humble, at the Humble,
Valentine's
yeah,
Day.
at the Humble Civic Center.
I went to that one.
I was there, no lie, I was a little pissed, but it was a good performance.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Because
Well,
them opening acts was trash.
Now I
They
will say
was.
this: I love Reggie Jams, so
I never heard of them.
Local dude.
yeah, like I love Reggie Jams, but the other ones, yeah, like
The little girl.
I was like,
I don't know
what's
what-
this?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I tried to give this chick benefit of the doubt, right? But y'all seen that clip where the chick running talking about she's R. Kelly's and Aaliyah's love child.
That's oh Lord, that
So-
baby.
So you know the internet is
She just doing that shit for
undefeated.
like,
Undefeated. Why they found out who her mama really is? Hold on, I'm finna share it. I'm like, again,
she was just bored trying to go viral,
Yes,
and
she
you went
did.
viral for all the wrong reasons.
They don't care.
Like
No.
that's her mom.
That's not real, man.
bro, that's her mama.
That's not real,
That
man.
look just like her, bro.
Not real, man. They found somebody that look like it.
That's her mama, fam.
Oh wow.
You can't say that I don't look like her.
Like that ain't even R. Kelly knows.
Thank you. And that's my point. So I honestly was going to entertain it at first. I was like, well, you know what? Just go ahead and, let her do the DNA test or whatever, and then let it come out. All you got to do is just get one of R. Kelly kids or something like that, and you'll swap and figure the shit out, right?
Go to that. I mean, that nigga ain't going nowhere. Go to him.
Go to him.
Like
Yeah.
you can do this.
So, yeah.
They get the nigga from back child.
But nah, this but she
I ain't
got
got no money.
Well,
she got mental health issues. Mental health is real.
Yeah.
Mental health is
I mean, you can look at
But
it.
people, but people will believe. I mean, there are people that have mental health issues.
They really believe what they tell you.
Right, they
she
really
had the drawing
believe
in the
it.
background. Y'all ain't see that? She had a sketch of. I think
She did.
was-
It was a jacked up sketch of
Yeah.
Aaliyah in the background. The lips was too big, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I was. Part of me was trying to have empathy and compassion, right? Because I'm like, okay, if that is, her child,
Stop.
Do you know how old that child would be? if
look,
that was the case?
I just said
That child
I
would
didn't
be
even put
grown.
logic behind it.
So,
I just said the sympathy, the soft side of me was like, look, if that's what she say,
the
Ain't
baby
no way
would have
in
been
hell.
30.
Right,
And
that
it
baby would have
is.
been old as hell.
She's still young. So
Bless her heart. That's all I can say.
That's what them
Stop.
grandparents be saying when they don't want to tell you that your child fucked up. Bless her little heart.
Bless her heart.
All right, so we're gonna move into
On
the
that baby.
So
we're gonna
cute outfit.
move into the relationship part of what we do, right?
Let's
So
talk about it.
There's nothing to talk about on my end.
so the reason why it's titled Out of Bounds tonight is because everybody's so like I don't really know the infatuation with toxic, right? And so the only thing that I can say is, you know, people be like, oh, I love the toxic, that, and he toxic, I toxic. We love it. And
That shit
they
sound crazy.
idolize the type of relationship that Blueface and Krishan had,
That
right?
shit's crazy.
And I'm like, yo,
That is not something to idolize.
That is not healthy.
that ain't healthy at all.
If you look at that man when he be in these videos, his eyes is really asking for help.
Blueface,
Hell.
baby.
That baby that lost her whole tooth.
Yeah.
Walk around this bitch snagged out.
Have you seen her before him?
She
She was beautiful.
Yes.
Track star.
You,
Yeah,
you
sure
don't
was.
see that you didn't went down the drain?
No, she don't see that.
Because
Ain't
again,
that-
a lot of
Ain't no. If anything make you act like that, that is not love.
That ain't. I don't want no
That's
dingling.
if love do you like that,
That's
I
not
don't
love.
want it.
let it go.
That's
I
not
don't
love.
need it.
I just recently seen a clip of where he told her she was nasty because she used his toothbrush.
Mhm.
Like they have their own reality show on
On Zeus.
and
Yeah.
it is. I'm like, first off, why are y'all still recording this? Like, it's so much damn domestic violence
And y'all-
on
hey.
here. They basically hitting on each other,
Yep.
but no lie, she
Stanging on that boy.
man, like it's crazy. The last video that I did see was where he had like the gash in the back of his head.
Yeah.
Come on,
And
bro.
she was
You
taking
know.
care of. Yeah. Look.
Like
Yeah,
she was
we-
laughing and bandaging this nigga up at the
Nah.
same time. Somebody he didn't need to go to the ER.
Both of
Nah,
them
we-
is crazy.
So what
That's crazy.
boundaries? You need boundaries. I don't give a fuck what
Niggas
It-
will do anything for $1, man.
no. But what I'm saying,
Facts.
boundaries in a relationship, everybody need boundaries. You're gonna have things that you're gonna bend on, you have things you're gonna compromise on, but you need your hard boundaries. That's part of your self-care.
Mhm.
You need your boundaries. So like as I was talking, who was I? Was I talking to? I was talking to Kat.
Probably.
No, I was talking to Kat. And I was like, I said, as a married man, it's very important to at least have that one night that you get a break from
Yeah.
whatever, because you got kids, you got work, you got all this other stuff you got going on. In order for your sanity to like stay intact, you need that one night away to break away and do whatever it is you do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes two, right? My one night a week is doing this, right? And when I don't do it, I feel funny. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got off in it, you know, I ain't been able to get it off my chest. I ain't been able to be creative and figure out how to tap into channeling whatever I had going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just if this don't get it, you may need an extra night or whatever. But I was saying, as a married man, we don't really get too many nights because we always put everybody else first. It's like, what do you need? Are you good? Y'all good? Because again, when you take pride in being able to take care of your family, you take pride in being able to say everybody good, cool. Now I can go ahead and do what I need to do. Like, hey, you mind if I go on and, you know, such. And it ain't that you ask for permission, but it's that keeping that communication open and saying, hey, I'm finna run over here, blah, 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 and I'm gonna be back, blah, 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 whatever. Because a lot of people make it seem like you're trying to have it's a controlling thing, and it's not. It's just everybody need an outlet. Everybody need that time away to be able to regroup and recenter. So before I move on to the next point, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
See, you said I believe both sides do.
I'm not saying you, but I'm speaking from
my husband. I mean, men, like I say it all the time, men deal with things that they won't tell their wives. And it's certain things that even if they told you, you wouldn't understand it because the way we look at things, which it goes the same way. But that quiet time, alone time is needed. It's needed. But
Of course.
luckily I drive a lot, so and I talk to her sometimes when I'm driving. Sometimes I'm like, all right. And she know, like that's just his.
I mean, I feel like
I can
that's
think
on-
a lot better when I'm just driving.
Yeah.
As much as I hate the traffic and stuff, but if I'm chilling, I'm calm, okay, until niggas cut you off and stuff, but I'm good and I can think.
I mean, but like you said, that it's on both sides
Yeah.
because at the same time, the wife, your significant other, whatever it is you call each other, we all need our space.
Yeah, everybody do. And
Like
I'm cool with that.
I like my space. Like I need my me time. Like I don't want to be up under you 24/7. Like,
So we definitely gonna touch that because of the conversation we had earlier.
so I need my space.
So it's 5 types of
Yeah,
boundaries, right? You got emotional, you got intellectual, you got physical, you got financial, and you got sexual, right? That's a huge one, right? So everybody got their hard nose.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some things that you know,
That's
some
what
folks
it is.
won't bend on. It is
Right.
what it is.
Is you doing the bending?
Wow.
Wow.
Mm.
I don't know if that was a rhetorical
I
question.
don't know who she was talking to. She wasn't talking to me. That's why I looked down.
No,
I know
when
she
you
not
said
talking
it's
to me.
just like people won't bend on it. I just instantly went to the clip with Janet Jackson where she found out her husband was, doing other things, and that's what she said to him.
That was
You
about
doing
where
the
she set
bending?
her boundary.
Or they bending you? That was her question to him.
So, I mean, it's easy to talk about sexual boundaries. That's easy. Financial boundaries, this is a deeper discussion
Of course.
because everybody money don't
Don't add up. They
Well,
math don't be math.
everybody math don't be math, right? So if you live a certain lifestyle and that's what you do, and you know this is what your money, the way your bank account, your savings, and your checkings are set up, and you operate like that, your partner got to, again, the communication got to be there so y'all don't cross wires. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If they got a more lavish spending lifestyle or something like that, that may not be the person for you. You need to start recognizing this early on and start moving accordingly. Because if y'all can't have those conversations about finances and be all right with it and work through it, what they say? Ain't no romance without finances, a nuisance.
And it's ignorance.
And ignorance. So you can't sit up here and have a relationship if you don't have financial discussions and financial boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not married, but a couple that I admire and that, I would often speak to when I was in a relationship. When, the money discussion came up, their thing was they both have separate accounts, but they have access to each other's account. So, he had his own account. He kept all of his banking stuff. She kept all of hers. They just added them as authorized users. So it was just kind of
got
like,
a damn joint account.
huh?
You might as well have got a joint account.
You got a joint
Well,
account.
yeah, I mean, I think they still had a joint account, you know what I mean, for, I guess, like the bills and,
Right,
that
right.
kind of stuff. But just say he had a certain amount of his check going to that account. She had her portion that went into the account. But at the end of the day, they still had their own money per se. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that it wasn't never a thing where they were always having to inform the other, oh, I'm going to spend this, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. So they still had a certain portion of their own money for themselves, you know what I mean? So it didn't become a thing where it was like you were needing permission to access your own money. And I thought that was smart.
And this is my thing. I agree with you. That is smart because everybody, what worked for one relationship don't work for all. And they tell everybody, just two people coming together as one. So you only need one bank account. Well,
Mm.
that
need
can
one.
always create a lot of issues.
I'm not going to
too.
call you every time I buy a purse.
It's not. I don't think it's. I don't think it's that. It's more of a thing of, okay, we both know what type of bills we got. We got this joint account. To me, that joint account is for the bills.
Mhm.
So, and I mean, you may buy stuff. If we going out to eat as a family, and we want to use that. Okay, cool. But when it comes down to a situation where, yeah, you want to buy a purse, yeah, your money in that account too. But like, why we buying $1,500 purses? Like,
Oh, ain't nobody said nothing about
no, I'm just saying, like in a situation like that. For me, it's like, and I don't have to worry about it.
I'd rather just have my own account to where I could just swipe it. You know what I'm saying? Because even like the example that they gave was like, just say if he ended up having a blowout on and had to buy a tire, you know, in that moment he's not thinking about calling you and say, "Oh, I'm going to spend $300-400."
That's what I'm saying. I don't think stuff like that
and they in the mall. You know what I'm saying? And you done, spend some more money, and you know what I'm saying? And he done spent money out the account that you didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just for the fact you don't want to be in the red because of a phone call. You know what I'm saying? Or because you didn't know that he had already spent $400 or $500 out the account in an emergency situation, and you were just buying a $50 purse, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was a matter of having that own account to where you could say, when you want to buy something, you just buy what you want. And you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mingle or commingle with the main money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can have your joint account, but even like we have a joint account, and then, of course, I run a business, so I have a business account.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got 2 other accounts, I got 2 other accounts.
Right.
And you put your money, as long as the money is there for the house, everything else don't really matter.
Right, exactly.
When the money for the house get low, that's when we need to have a conversation. So when she go spend on stuff like that, that's your business anyway.
Yeah.
Now when you spend it coming from the house and
that's a problem.
You're going to go buy something for $500. You might
it's conversation.
That's a conversation at that point. Mm-hmm. But any other time.
But then that's why it's just good to have a separate account so you don't avoid messing with that money altogether.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Traditionally, one account is what they say. But I'm a fine believer because it keeps the confusion down. As long as the bills is getting paid, like if you're gonna have 2 separate accounts, as long as people know what their responsibilities are to pay and they get paid, it's no issues. People can pay. People can spend their money how they want to, do whatever they want to. That's it.
I just think, like you pay the bills. You're gonna pay the bills. I think that make it, for me, that shit make it confusing. I don't even be doing logins and shit. Long as I know I put the money there so it get paid, we good. Baby, you need some extra money or something? Okay, big. Like, that type of shit, to me, it shouldn't even be an argument. And the money getting low, all right, well, what's up? What we got going on? Let's have a conversation about it real quick. Other than that, if it's something for the house, ain't no conversation about it anyway. It's going, long as the shit getting paid. I think the people that be trying to, I'm gonna pay my set of bills here. You gonna pay your nigga? You hiding something?
I mean, I don't know.
I wouldn't say that because the last relationship I was in, and when we lived together, and he paid rent, he paid car notes, car insurance. I paid light, and I paid water. Was our main, and then and cable bill or whatever. But it was just kind of like. Yeah, we never did the joint account thing or whatever because we wasn't married. I was like, no, we ain't there yet. But we did live together for a while, and so he had his bills that he paid, or even they got to a point where and this has been years ago because niggas was still cashing paper checks. But sometimes he would just cash his check and then give me the rent money. I put it in the account and I pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? But then when you have an individual that is going to take care of business, financial conversations don't have to be that hard. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? If like you said, if you got somebody that got this lavish ass lifestyle and they just want to spend and not take care of home, then that's a problem. Right. We're not even making it to a point where we need a joint account.
That's my breaking
point. The way
my
wife is.
That's my boundary.
My wife make me want to give her money because I be like, you be worried about the house and the kids. You don't get enough. Here, go somebody go buy something.
Yeah.
And see, like I don't need a lavish lifestyle. Like my ass get excited just to go to Dollar Tree.
My wife loves some damn Dollar Tree.
Some damn Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree. Target.
Yes, it is Target.
You put on clothes to go to Target.
It's a difference. Walmart, you getting these comfortable clothes.
Ain't nothing wrong with Great Value. And
oh no, I love Great Value. But I feel real bougie when I go to Tarjay.
Everybody feel bougie when they go.
Yeah, you gotta
to
take a bath to go to
Quiet.
Tarjay.
You know.
You bathe for
They
Tarjay.
be a little proud.
She say she bathe. You bathe. And you,
You take a bath to go to
Target,
Tarjay.
they a
Yeah.
little proud on their stuff. The same little Walmart t-shirts they got in there.
It's different. It's different.
No, it's
just
different.
it feels different on the body.
Yeah, this a Target. This bra I got on from Tarjay. It's nice.
And it's comfortable.
It's comfortable, yeah. It's made of good material.
You
You know what I'm
the
saying?
Target brush got. The Walmart brush.
The
got a
underwire,
gel.
be, yeah, you be done wash it. The underwire is stabbing you in your chest. No.
Oh,
It be feeling like sandpaper. Nipples be all rusty. No.
Oh,
damn.
no, not the
Them
rusty
be-
nipple.
They be them bras be trash.
it's a difference. But
It's
I mean,
a-
I don't really have to. I'm not with the joint bank account stuff. Like,
And-
let's just
and-
make sure that
and-
these bills get
That's
paid,
it.
Yeah.
and that's that. Like, cause I mean, it just kind of takes me back to the episode with Martin and Gina where he went about the big ass TV when he was talking about a small TV.
Yeah.
And then they had to come together and was putting the money in the drawer, but then they were
Mhm.
still taking money out. I don't want to deal with all that.
Right.
Let's just
But
pay
that's
these
what you're
bills.
making it be when you want to just, like, the joint account make it easy.
Let's just pay these bills.
Right.
Again, what will work?
Yeah,
For
One
one, yeah.
household don't work for everybody.
All right.
Because my cousin, he don't like to pay big, go online. He don't like pay no bills.
I don't, that's why I
So he
can go to budget.
right. He has a portion of his check that they do the joint account thing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't know if I would do the joint account
Mhm.
thing. As long as the bills getting paid, and if something happened where you need more money than what you have, and you have access to my account to get what you need, or that's why I thought them having access to each other's account
So
was it made sense to me.
I don't even like. So
I'll
again,
zeal
that
it.
work for him. I don't like that access shit.
I'll zeal it.
But we'll get to that in the other boundary. So physical boundaries, right? So physical boundaries is not so much really more or less physical.
Mhm.
It's physical in the sense of like being somewhere and being somewhere too long. So like everybody's talked about office relationships, right? Working with someone. Bro, them shits don't work. They don't work because there's no time away
Right.
Oh, yeah.
from the other person. You don't even get to-
your ass
I'm-
at home at
I'm
work.
riding to work with you.
Shit.
I see you at work. You probably want to go to lunch together.
Like a
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bing,
there's
bing.
no break. Like we ain't getting a break. I literally it's
Mm-mm.
nerve wracking. And so it honestly, and then think about it.
It
So
doesn't.
now-
It doesn't give me time to miss you.
Oh, but then not only that, if the other person is more insecure than you, right? Who was that you was talking to? I see you they was laughing a little too hard, or you was a little too friendly.
I
bet
think
you
women
just
don't
the
do
last
that
I done
regardless,
spit.
though.
The last relationship I was in, the dude was my supervisor.
Oh damn!
We was together for 5.5 years. Now, of course, we moved in together a couple of years after, like after we had started dating. Or maybe it probably wasn't even that long, to be honest. Probably was like we probably was together like 6-7 months, and then he moved in. We moved
Nah,
in
I gotta
together.
go and get
And
you
y'all
to the
still
house.
stayed working together?
For a while, yeah, for at least another like year and a half.
Oh no.
But
Like,
it was,
I don't-
it wasn't.
do
Well,
that.
first of all, I'm just fucking awesome. I mean, let's just call space. A nigga get with me, he gonna want to be around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then even at work, we wasn't, just directly right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were working. This is when I was working at a Compaq in a warehouse that was with Compaq or whatever. But and I was driving forklifts, so. So we wasn't like just sitting there,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, always in each other's face. We see each other throughout the day,
Did that
whatever.
one
With the
time
roof.
when I was young.
but it worked out for me for a while. And because when we broke up, we wasn't working together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We at this point it was other stuff that had, that had created, the rift or whatever, and how we ended up breaking up or whatever. So but we worked together for about at least a year and a half.
Boy, this nigga used to just come by the room where I was at.
But that goes to
No.
what you was talking about earlier, though. You know, men need that time. You know, having that time apart. You know
It
what I'm
ain't just
saying?
men. It's just-
Well, I mean, me too, because I used to, make sure I spend time, go out with my homegirls or, whatever. We're not going to sit at the house all day in front of each other, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we made sure we had a healthy enough amount of away time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go hang out with your homeboys. I'm going to hang out with my family or my homegirls or whatever. And then the other thing, too, is like he mentioned about being insecure. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If at the end of the day, if that, if the insecurity is there, whether y'all work together or not, it's still gonna be a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Like why you was at the water cooler.
Right, yeah, and I you know what I'm saying, I
Nigga,
didn't
it's
care about
water.
nobody being in his face because at the end of the day, I feel like I know where your address, is.
Women
You're
ain't
not
like
gonna
that.
play.
I seen you give John a cup.
Right, yeah, like no, we didn't
I
have
had
that.
2
We didn't
cups.
have that kind of problem. He never questioned about, and it was always dudes in my face because I'm in a warehouse full of men.
Yeah.
So I was always being hit on. Or
She was around the men's.
Yeah, I worked with a. Oh
No, I
Lord,
work
Say
in
what?
I have
Call
definitely
That
seen
is a
call
bunch of
center
female.
relationships.
yeah.
Everywhere I worked,
And
it's
it
been a
was
bunch of
not
women.
good.
Oh yeah, I've seen them, and I done seen fights break out.
It was
Call
not
center.
good.
Thousands messy.
Ooh, they're like a
Hey.
soap opera.
It really was. They had the little gay dudes just walk around, just purses hanging. This was new. But the day I went in that restroom and that white man, trans, whatever it was, that's a grown ass man. And then they put it in the bathroom, the whatever, the unisex bathroom where, and of course, you got some niggas out to see what's going on in there. But then it's like, yeah, there's some chicks with dicks in there too, my nigga. You playing? You gonna run up on something, you gonna hit a stick.
Being that whole
What-
sport
hey.
fighting.
Watch what you do. I'm cool, right? Man, bathroom over there. Just go over there. I don't want to try that.
I don't
Ooh.
know. But yes, I have definitely seen the call center relationships.
That shit was
They
horrible.
actually got it kind of little
Everybody
situation.
messing with
and
everybody.
it was-
Folks messing with
it
and then
was-
sleeping folks get time off and promoted and all
You
of that.
know, I mean, in that situation, it was just the call center was small. So this dude, he was already very flirtatious. We all just ended up in the back room together because there was no more seats in the main area.
Uh-huh.
No, seriously.
This is good post.
And so he was back there. He was back there, telling jokes and stuff. I was the only female back there. We was all back there, just cracking
Laughed
up,
too hard.
passing time. Next thing you know, his girlfriend at the door, like, what's so funny? And I was just like, oh
The
my
joke
God.
the nigga just said, man.
I was like, oh my God. Here you go. So yeah, I don't have time for that. I don't do the work relationships. No.
So the other thing that, and I'm gonna group both of them together because they piggyback off one another in the emotional boundary and the intellectual boundary, right?
Mhm.
So mental health feeds directly into emotions. So again, you got to be able to have that time where you feel like you're not crowding someone else's emotions with your own, or you're being emotionally supported. If you need that break, you need to be able to verbalize that you need that break. Because at the end of the day, you're no good to this person if you're no good for yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's perfectly fine. Hey, look, I understand what you're saying, and I'm receiving what you're saying. But right now, mentally, I'm drained. I need a break. I need, I promise you, give me like whatever time designated, and you got my full undivided attention. I'm here for you, love you, blah, 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 blah. But again, we have to be able to put these boundaries in place in order for us to be able, because again, a relationship only goes as far as two people who are willing to do the work in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you got one person tired and dragging, the other person going to end up pulling them along at some point in time. The dynamics of the weight does shift, but it's got to get as close to 50-50 as possible. We all know that it's never going to truly be 50-50.
Right.
But as long as you got somebody that's in there willing to do the same work with you, it works.
I mean, if we both willing to fight for it, then obviously it's worth it. But if it's just one person fighting and the other one person is like, I don't care. Like, don't waste your time no more. Just go ahead and cut your ties.
And I think people need to get out of this ideology that relationships are always going to be 50-50. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you have, like I said, you know, people have shit that they be going through that they don't want to speak on with their wives, or like you said, you know, men be going through stuff that they don't necessarily tell their wives or whatever. And if we don't know that, and you're operating at 30%, then my job as your wife is to operate at 70% to carry you until you get to that back to that 50%. So I think that people are always looking for that 50-50, and when your partner is not at, you know, at that 50-50 or whatever you want to call it, you know, they feel like something is wrong. Whereas, you know, we're supposed to be each other's helpmeet. You know what I mean? You know, if I can't have your back when you having a tough time, you know what I'm saying? What is my purpose? What am I, you know what I'm saying? What's the point?
Right.
And again, stop idolizing these toxic relationships, because there's the only thing that you can learn from these toxic relationships are
What not
to do.
What not to do.
Right.
What not to do.
There's no way.
Like, it's no way that two toxic people should be together.
But see, here's the problem with that. The reason why a lot of toxic people end up together is because, one, they've functioned so long in this environment that this is the norm. So if they get with somebody who know how to treat them right, they don't even know what the fuck to do with them.
There's something wrong with this. Why
I'm not.
He's so nice, my nigga.
Well, they say you are what you eat, so you're gonna attract what you are. So if you're a toxic female, you're probably gonna attract a toxic male. You know what I'm saying? And then that just, even like when you think about how a man can be with a woman for years, not have a desire to marry her, and then backdoor and meet somebody and marry them in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Is because
I got a clip for you.
Well, you know, because there was a conversation I was having with somebody, and it was just kind of like they didn't understand how their ex had moved on so quickly, and they still were just kind of grieving the relationship. Right. It was not even so much that. I mean, sometimes I may not just be the right person for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I told her she can't take it personal that their relationship didn't work out, because it may not have necessarily been something that you didn't have. It's probably it wasn't that you were insufficient. You probably just didn't have what he needed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't say, oh, you know what I'm saying, he didn't never love me, or he didn't, you know, y'all were just not compatible enough to go. You know,
that was a situation of you the best I can do at the moment. So I'm gonna chill.
But see, that's why Black people need to learn how to date. You know what I'm saying? Black people do not know how to date. If I give you my phone number and we go out on one date, you might meet my homegirl somewhere and she be the love of your life. And they wouldn't expect for my homegirl to talk to you because they feel like, oh, well, he used to talk to so-and-so and so. But if we didn't have no soul ties, if we didn't have, you know, nothing deep, nothing serious going on, we just kind of went out a couple of times or whatever, you fair game, my nigga. Like, I'm not finna sit here and, because that would, to me, I feel like I wouldn't stop my homegirl from her happiness because I have this nigga number in my phone. That sounds ridiculous. But, you know, and I'm a hood nigga, so, you know, hood niggas be on that kind of shit all the time. All the time. And
Most of the
ridiculous.
Time, once it come to he didn't have sex with her.
Probably so.
They gonna feel like, nah, my partner can't holler at her because
I done knocked it down.
No, not now. It's shit gone.
Oh,
my nigga like pass around.
Nah, it's always been like that. Only time it really is she was off limits is if you had feelings for her.
Yeah,
I'm like
that. I understand.
But then even that, I mean, but if it didn't work out, it just didn't work out, man. I mean, like at some point we got to be able to let go of what wasn't and what could have been. You know what I'm saying?
But I think the reason behind it is two parts. You got the code, because
that code.
Well, no.
Who made it up?
No, right. Look at it. If you want to date my ex, or you want to talk to my ex, because you my partner first, and you wouldn't even know this chick like that if it wasn't for me. Hey, look, I think I'm gonna try and shoot her, with you, blah, 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 whatever. I kind of like her, I don't want it to be no weird shit if we around each other and all that, because
it's going to be weird
So-
because he already told you what the hell she do in the bedroom.
if he did, because it's not
Right.
so, again,
That's not always.
it's not always, there you go.
Man, look.
So
I ain't
if your
dating no
homeboy
ex.
approaches you and has this conversation with you prior to, you cool with it.
I'd be okay with it.
Okay.
Because again, and here's why. I'm okay with it because you thought enough of me as your boy
Bingo.
to be like, hey man, I'm messing with her, we kicking it. I don't want it to get weird. I'm just letting you know, out of respect, whatever, because of what y'all had.
Nathan.
Oh, hey Nathan.
Out of what y'all had, this is why I'm hollering at you. So part of it's a level of emotional maturity that takes place.
Mhm.
Because here goes the second part. The second part is you got some people that dog, out of everybody, why her? You know what I'm saying? Like, because you was just so in love with this person and it didn't work out
Mhm.
that you don't even want to see this person no more.
That's on you.
So again, but I said it's two parts to it. So
Mhm.
like I said, as the emotional maturity of it is like, okay, you know what? If she make you happy, bro,
That part.
and you to hollered at me, hey, God bless.
I don't know.
But it's a lot of folks that creep around folks back.
But yeah, because a lot of people just are not emotionally mature enough to, because I feel like, people can miss out on great opportunities because of this quote unquote code or, or whatever. Because I've seen it happen, you know what I mean? And like my homegirl, her and she had messed around with this guy or whatever. And, nothing else happened. You know what I mean? They, messed around one time or whatever. And he ended up dating somebody that she knew that, and he didn't know that they was cool. But so it was a little different situation or whatever. But they went on and had happily ever after. You know what I'm saying? But if, but if she would have took it to consideration, oh, well, y'all had went out that time or you know what I'm saying? She would have missed out on, her soulmate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen situations where, that quote unquote code could have backfired. You know what I'm saying? Behind a bullshit hookup, or you know what I'm saying?
I had real life experience. I was talking to this chick, older chick back in the day, and was like fooling with her so often, this, then the third, and then ended up talking to this other chick, and she didn't know they was cousins.
Oh,
You was keeping it in the family.
Bruh. So I'm knocking off the other one.
Oh, you really kept it in
Like,
the family.
we kicking it.
he
like,
took the rub off.
and
That's what it means. But I'm not good. Like, yeah, it's too late.
Basically,
and so I say, yo, I know your cousin. Like, I used to
I used to
but
knock her down.
nah, I ain't knock a cousin down like that. But like, I was like,
You didn't knock it down. You ain't gotta say that.
but
That's how I feel.
no,
So-
I would still say something.
exactly.
I
Because
was
if
still-
When you show up at the
around-
family reunion, you
Oh no, but if
You know what
I
I'm
show
saying?
up at the family
if
reunion.
we had a family reunion, oh, this your cousin? I used to.
then it's real awkward.
Yeah, then it's awkward.
Why?
Then
It's
it's
really
awkward.
awkward.
For what?
Because now
It's
you
too
brought,
late.
no, but now
I didn't have my dick in your mouth. What we gonna do? I did not close. I did not close.
So you saying it because there was no sex involved, the relationship was not that serious?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel you. I got you. I see where you're coming from.
like it
Yeah.
wasn't.
Like you said, if y'all would just conversate and just
that's
okay.
nothing.
I got you. No, but then that goes to that having that level of emotional intellect to be able to decipher the levels of the relationship.
Come on now. Hit
Because
him with it. Hit
At
him
the
with it.
point that and that's why I think like this quote unquote code is it can't be so hard. It can't be. It's not black and white. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, it depends on the level of the relationship for one. And then, but then even with that, that's a conversation that needs to be had. You know what I'm saying? And the niggas I know ain't about having no conversation. If I got your number in my phone, you off limits. And I'm like, nah, nigga, it's not working like that.
Nah.
Because I had a dude charge me up because he was like, oh, you hollering at my boy. And they wasn't even like kick it homeboy. They were
Right.
just like, they ran
They
in some of
knew
the
each other.
same circles.
Yeah.
Right.
And he called me, he was out trying to slut shame me and was like, oh, now you fucking my boy. Da, 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 da. I was like, well, your
Wasn't a
dick was
slut when
trash.
I
So
was
I, da,
fucking
da, da.
you.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
I guess growing up, two brothers, cousins, everybody in the house. It's hell, just being an A-Leaf. You gonna run into some of the same people.
Of
yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I know for a
It's a
fact.
small
A-Leaf,
world.
Fort Bend, Michigan, all that.
My little brother and my older brother, they knocked out some of the same chicks I knocked out.
Yeah.
I didn't love her. No, I mean, like, but that's not like, hey, if she gave it to you, what I'm supposed to do?
Right.
That's how I looked at it. But that's the difference though. With me, it was no emotional attachment.
Right.
It was
Exactly.
didn't go in, didn't come out. I'm holla at you. No, so it was like, oh, you gave it to that nigga. It'd be a situation where it's like, I may not fool with you no more. Nah, you let little brother hit. I can't go back to you like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. But it's that attachment. Like I do feel with the, you know, if it was somebody you were dating, have a conversation.
I think for me, it's more so based off of when did that breakup happen. Like if it was
I think that's
years
important, too.
ago, I don't
You know,
care. But if it was like a recent breakup,
Nah, but
to me
see-
that mean you've been watching my man with my ex-man at this point that whole time me and him were together.
Right.
Nah, so
Yeah, I
I'm
do
seeing
believe it
like
to be a
this.
time frame.
No.
Why would you never know though?
Like
I gotta finish.
I
this
feel like
story.
it just depends.
So, old girl, after I told her that, being transparent and everything, she was cool with the sex and all that, but she didn't want to take it further than that. She was like, nah, because
But you ain't even knocking down though. Like,
man, look, that's just, hey,
she ain't even seen it.
bro,
What's the problem?
bro,
She got a little conversation. Oh, you being childish.
hey,
You missing your blessing.
and block me on Facebook and everything.
But still,
But everything
still,
happens for a reason. So she probably wasn't your person.
hey, you got out of there when you could.
And so,
She was probably a little cuckoo.
Banana cream pie.
to go back to that, segue though, honestly, it's the conversation has to take place, but you know, okay, so I've known this dude forever, right? And
Forever.
and so if I ever was emotionally distraught behind a female, you see me go through that. So again, to not have a conversation after something like what if something happened?
That's foul.
Thank you. And so no matter if it's years later,
Right.
this is somebody that I was hurt by. You know what I'm saying? And
How did you not sure if he knew that?
huh?
You not sure if he knew that?
I'm not
No, he
talking-
said you did go. You saw him go through it. So then,
He's speaking on y'all too.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not literally. I don't even, but yeah,
On how
Oh,
long
no.
y'all have known each other.
yeah.
Yeah. Hypothetically.
So, but it was one specifically I was hurt by, and we already
Yeah.
talked about
Hey,
it.
we talked about
But
that
that ain't that,
cheeks went over that way.
huh?
That's
Whatever.
how I would just look at it. Like it's not my fault that damn it, her cheeks ended up in my lap. Like shit happened.
But then that's why
But it happened.
that's why I
She
say
slipped
that
on a banana
code.
peel.
When people talking about the code now, that it's there always is a gray area. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a hard and fast rule. You know what I'm saying? Because that, you know, like I say, you know, time is because it's something to take into consideration, as well as the level of the relationship is something to be taken into. If y'all were just smashing it and that's what it was, then that's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? Just because I was smashing this dude don't mean that I was, you know, emotionally attached to him. And, you know, but all the while here, me smashing you might was leading me to your homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
So one of my exes, right? I ran back into him and was knocking off, right? He was knocking off too.
Didn't know.
I'm like, so I said, hey, Hey,
At that time in my life, I was down bad. I was like bad. Just
I say,
Violent.
I say,
I didn't even know, and she told me like, yeah, hey, one of
But that
y'all was
just goes to what
somebody's
you were
first
saying
or
earlier.
something.
It's a small world. You never know.
And it was
who-
the way I was
but
moving
that was
too.
also in the 80s. So I
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I was moving real reckless. It was,
Yeah.
but again,
stick.
Miss Magic.
Oh, okay, 50.
Yeah, who did it?
I mean, just saying, we I ain't even gonna go that far. I ain't gonna go that far.
Please
I ain't gonna go
don't.
that far because I was gonna say,
We limited at this point.
well, no, I mean, because back then, Lil O was mighty popular and all that. So, but nah, we ain't never even go that route. We just like the emotional again. I knew my variety and my selection was like, here you go, JP. Shout out to JP. Boys playing ping pong with the kitty.
Oh,
It wasn't. I didn't know.
It was ping pong, and then I put the paddle down. So
I think I probably did before you.
no, I did because I was like, when I found out, I was like,
I didn't know,
I was like,
and I didn't. It wasn't often enough for me to care.
I'm done. I think I doubled back. Like I think
I'm about to say you went back. You went
No,
back after I
no,
you did. You
no, I
told me
didn't.
you did. You went back after I had stopped messing with
you
you.
know what? At this point, this is when you need to play that little, you know, because y'all having straight flashbacks when y'all playing ping pong with that woman Kitty. Like,
That's what you want to hear.
yeah, that.
Oh, women now.
Huh?
Women now.
Oh Lord Jesus.
You lying.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight.
Hey, I seen it
I
on
seen
the
her.
gram.
I thought she got married to a dude.
Tune in
Don't know
next
about
week
that,
when I go
man.
down memory lane.
Right.
Nah, next week is gonna be a tribute to my sister.
I said tune in next week while y'all going down memory lane
just
right
saying.
now.
But A-Leaf small.
It's extremely
And
small.
I
small.
was
Yeah,
I was
blink
going
and
through
you're
a
not
fucked
ready
up-
to
JP
handle
said
it.
you may put the paddle down, but points were made. But no, I don't like going behind my homeboys. I just don't.
No.
Like
and like I'm not gonna purposely do it.
like, you know, if I find out that you was there, I just remove myself from the equation. I did it in college all the time. Be like, wait a minute, you know? And I know how you and I you got it.
Nah,
I just
see
That part.
being one. I can't say his name, but I tell you, like me and him doing, me and my boy doing high school. Like it was like you messed with old girl tonight. Nah, bro, I gotta go over here. I will go smash that. I wait. It was so bad to where
you ain't talking about your
Nah.
Batman and Robin, huh?
you know it.
Okay.
So, it got to the point to where the thing was the girl thought she was messing over us. That's why it was so funny to us. He had a little secret spot that he'd take the chick, said, you know, not too far from the school. I passed by it one day. I got the chick in the car with me. I was like, man, they're going to spot over there. She's like, I've been over here before. I was like,
Yeah.
I just never said nothing the whole time. We both know what, like,
But that's the kind of shit you do in high school.
exactly. So, you know,
But that's the kind of shit you do in high school, and grown folks still play them same games.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, not grown.
No, adults. They
Oh.
adults, and they
People that
still
over the
play in
age
high
of, people
school
that over the
games.
age of 18.
Nah, man.
people who hit their peak in high school.
Oh,
Oh.
Since you put it that way,
I'm just saying.
makes sense.
So, again,
I'm not.
in certain things that I'm not gonna surround myself with or even entertain because I know what I need and I know what my value is. So I'm like, look at it. I'm not even if that's how we moving. I had a great time, but you now are I might have placed you somewhere in the rankings right here. As soon as I found it out, oh no, sis, you out of there. I can't do that.
I can understand it.
Because again, now if I decide to take it to that next level and I'm bringing you around in these same circles, now it's always going to be a sense of it being awkward, right?
But see, I think in situations like that, because of that, you would never go back to that.
We ain't talking about that one. I'm just
No. I'm saying that.
Yeah.
No,
that's
not
a
even-
fish.
I'm not talking about that.
Look at it. If we was going fishing and that motherfucker
gonna
reeled
throw
in, I'm throwing that bitch back.
I may have saved you.
Oh hell! Look at it. I don't even look at it being a save. I just be like, you know what? Because I value the friendship we had
Way more than that.
way more than that.
Yeah.
So it was like it ain't even worth it. Why
Not at
even
all.
be in competition?
That's
You like
that's another factor to take into consideration, the value you have with the level of friendship you have with the person. You know what I'm saying?
Because I know I'm killing it. I know he killing it. So I mean, why we gonna be in competition? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. But see, I'm not thinking about. At that time, I was going through some shit, and I was just, everybody had a point in their life where they just, nigga, you finna wild out, and I was on some. Who's Tuesday? All right, I need to switch out Tuesday for Saturday because Saturday, like, I was on that type. Like, I was just being wild. So it was like. There was no emotional attachment to it, but I knew it that mentally and emotionally I wasn't ready to be attached to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like I just gotta have this time and just act a fool, and I hey man, and got tired of it.
Yeah, sat his ass down.
I said, "But hey, y'all can have that jersey, coach. I'm good.
Take me out.
Take me out, please."
All right, let's run through this
The bunch of
scenario.
times.
I got a scenario real quick.
Oh Lord.
And I want everybody's input on it. And I'm going to start with our guest of honor first. So here's the scenario. My girlfriend and I have been together for over 3 years, and we have never had sex. She never engages in sexual acts, and every time I try, she either says that she's in the middle of something, or in some rare cases, she agrees. I try to please her as much as possible, but every time she stops me, and we do not continue. It's nothing I'm doing wrong, she would tell me. In addition, dicks kind of gross her out. And it seems like it will not change. In the first 2 years, I didn't care much. Still, I am 26 now, and this affects my mental health more than I ever thought it would. And I don't know what to do because I love her. But it seems like intimacy is not going to be on the table anytime soon. I don't even know what to ask because I don't think I can do anything about the situation. Before we go any further, I have to give this precursor. Men are very physical. And if we do not get intimacy, we start to disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pastor peas like we used to.
Well, I mean, hell, you took the words out of my mouth. The precursor basically was my answer, because if you're at a certain point, everybody realizes that men are very physical creatures. You know what I'm saying? And there are women that are the same way. But first of all, how the hell you gonna say a dick gross you out and you in a whole relationship? You know what I'm saying?
See, obviously she like women. Huh?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm like, if dicks gross you out, then maybe you do not like men. You know what I'm saying? Because
she
I'm
don't
gonna tell
like
you,
men's.
she don't like men's, because I'm gonna tell y'all. So I never desired to have children, which I don't have, or be married. But then I reconsidered marriage because I started having good sex, and I was like, the only reason why I would want to get married is so I can have some in-house.
Make it easy for you.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't gotta go out.
I
ain't gotta go put on no heels and all this shit and lipstick or whatever, and go drag no man from no club. It's already waiting for me when I get home. So that was one of the things that made me consider marriage, because of the convenience of the intimacy. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and they're playing Faith Evans on the way to the house.
Right. As soon as I get home, baby. You feel me? But first of all, I don't see how he went 2 years without sex.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That would have drove me batshit crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then number two, you know, I don't know if because there's still a lot of pieces to this situation that we don't know about.
Together?
Got to.
Right. I'm like, do they live together, or, has there been a conversation that's been had on an emotional level as to why they're not intimate? Because it could be something emotional that's blocking her from being, intimate or whatever. And, maybe that's something that they need to talk about, or maybe she needs to go have therapy about it or something like that. Because if just say if she had, was raped or something like that, and it makes her hard to be intimate, then if he loves her but he doesn't understand why she has these problems being intimate, maybe she needs to go to therapy and it'll get better, over time or whatever. But 3 that's a long ass time.
You should have been had a conversation with him.
Yeah, so
I mean, I don't think it would have took 3 years for you to have that conversation. Though, first, y'all live together. No,
I don't know. Bless his heart.
Just drive that car.
I mean, this is where I'm at. So 3 years.
That's a long time.
And he's saying, and he's saying they never had sex. That's not what he's saying.
They never have sex,
right? And I guess he's classifying it because he doesn't finish.
Right.
That's a tough one, my boy.
You know what? You want to go?
Go ahead.
Because I'm going through this, and I'm like, either he a roommate and don't know it, because it could be a situation where that's his girlfriend, but she ain't his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's a roommate. He paying the bills and taking care of her, and eventually she got to get, because a woman will stay with your ass thing until she get on her feet and burn out. Now,
right?
So it could be that type of situation. I want to know, is he autistic or something? And it sounds funny, but I really want to know. Because as a man, you can tell when there's sexual energy in the room.
Mm-hmm.
When you with your woman,
Women
you can exactly. And if you're not feeling that ever,
there's something going on. Or maybe
y'all ain't got no kids.
Maybe it's just his thing that disgusts her.
I think maybe it's little.
Or maybe he's not circumcised.
Well, little don't necessarily mean bad.
It sure don't.
It may be bad for her though.
Yeah, but let me tell you something.
I done came across people that knew what they was doing.
I was just talking about this the other day, Sunday, on my my ghetto brunch. I dated a guy that I really like. We really was on. Okay. And when we finally did our thing, he wasn't, whatever. But the point we were trying to make was that, first of all, everybody doesn't like the same size penis. You know what I mean? Some people, I'm okay with a medium. You know what I mean? All this 9, 12, 13.
A lot of women are okay.
That shit is ridiculous. I've had 12s and it's not fun. So I don't like it. So, but this guy, he happened to have a small penis. But being a woman that's in tune with my body, I knew how to use it to my benefit. Right. I knew what positions that I could do. Wasn't no reverse cowgirl.
No, you gonna hurt both of y'all. Don't do that.
Right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because nothing's gonna be going on but a bunch of back exercise. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing sexual about trying to do cowgirl.
That's legs by ears.
Right, yeah. You're stretching at this point. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what she's saying is the truth.
Yeah, but
all these
well, you doing the best you can, baby.
For him to do that, you have to know what positions you can be in.
Right.
But y'all only have the patience for that if you really like this person.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't like this nigga, but the bad thing about that,
connected with old dude, on an emotional level. So when we did finally have sex,
you liked him. You was gonna make it work.
I made it work.
You was gonna make it work because you liked him as a person.
It's like we found our little tight spots and we just stuck with those, and that's just what it was.
The minute he fuck up, you let this motherfucker.
No, I didn't do it.
But most women do this.
A side dude.
Now you stretching it out even more.
I just got me a side dude.
I mean, but even still, if it's considered to be small, sometimes they can actually make up for what they're lacking.
Yeah, they overcompensated in another department,
and I'm fine with it.
I bet you.
So, like, I was messing with this dude. His penis was kind of small, but he was really tall and he had long arms. So there was a certain position that he would put me in that allowed
and that
for
thing was enjoyable.
Right. That allowed him to also, excuse me if I'm getting too explicit, to arouse me in the other area with his hands while he was doing his other thing. And so it was the equivalent of having that rose thing or whatever.
Mhm.
So it was just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So even though the
Charge,
penetration wasn't,
Shout out to the Roads.
No, I don't
wasn't,
have one
you
of
know,
those.
I don't have one either. I just be hearing about it.
Shout out to the honey. FYI, it got Cialis in it.
Ah.
Y'all do something.
But you know,
I did my research on it.
but
Why
yeah,
y'all
so
looking at putting that shit on
you know, the
chicken and
size
stuff?
don't necessarily have to matter. You know what I'm saying? If you know
It's
how
the
to work it,
connection.
you know how to
That-
work it.
It's
I
no
think-
connection there.
I think in that situation,
He a
so
roommate.
I know it. Okay.
But wait, before you say that, it could also be something with her to where sex can be uncomfortable.
I've met people like that.
Yep.
It could be uncomfortable because there are some things with women.
Yeah, there are
That
diseases
do
that
go
are
on.
considered like diseases.
But the thing about it is, this was the key.
He don't know what's going on.
No, this was the key. Dicks are kind of gross.
That was the point.
That was the big thing.
Yes.
That's
That
what I
was
said.
the
She like
statement
women.
to me because I was like, okay, well then maybe coochie is your preference.
But
Or it
I
could have
think
just been
that
something that
that
happened
that
in
could
their
be what
past.
she's playing on him,
You
though.
got,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, you're right.
Because if he's just the roommate and he don't know it, that's
That's what
what
I
she
was
done fed to him to where you don't feel so bad about me not want to do it. He basically waiting until she get drunk, and then that's when she go ahead and give in and give him something.
I agree.
Yeah.
Tyrone didn't answer the phone. Oh shit, my roommate at home. I get me a little bit when I get there.
Tyrone.
Yeah, that whole statement where she said the penises were gross. That
They
Then-
gave it away right there.
yeah,
So
I
look
was
out,
just like,
buddy.
I don't know.
This one's for you.
I want you to try to understand something, okay? Not just
That's what he should have did.
Hey.
No. He was majestic all of it.
Hey, you gotta go,
The
brother.
zone.
That is
You gotta
just
go.
the dance.
That's it, bro. You gotta go. You gotta take that
I
L.
would, yeah, I would, yeah.
And your time is the most invaluable
Ooh,
asset
He's
you
only
I
can
making
get
have.
time
himself
back.
better.
You can't get
I
time
ain't get
back.
time back.
So
But you
don't
know-
let it go.
And that once he lets it go, she gonna try her hardest to come back.
Yeah, because I promise you, he probably taking care of it.
Anything.
He ain't giving the details because you know, nigga, you know when you being a sucker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now you giving this story, but you ain't giving all of it. You ain't saying she don't
Oh,
work. You
wow.
pay
That's why I
all
say
of it.
it's-
We've been
still
missing the
it's-
comments. JP been around and talking about she's secretly fighting those urges for women. Then he said, or maybe she had an ugly penis that ruined it for her. Yes, sir. The 4 inches are back, baby.
Ah,
4 inches. And having
I
a
don't know
small
about
wee wee
us.
fine until if you get to do something. But again, it's just best to chunk that one up,
That
man.
nigga said
Like-
wee wee.
You again, if it ain't that big, I don't think you
It's
call
a
it a
TT.
penis. It's a TT or wee wee.
Man, I don't care.
Because again,
Make up
make
for
it
what
work.
you lacking.
Hey.
Yes.
She say
Yes.
you can have 2 inches long as
That's
I can
one-
ride your face.
Because I
It'll be
know
all right.
what areas I'm blessed in, so I know there are certain things I can't do. Just like she said, I can't do reverse cowgirl. It's pointless.
Man, get your knees like me.
Nah, baby, these knees is far from like
no,
these.
Megan needs ain't got nothing to do with it. That's when he's deficient, and there's nothing that can be done.
Megan and Megan party and her ain't following each other, and she's allegedly pregnant with his child.
I don't know because I
Stop.
heard they're still together.
Huh?
I heard they're still together.
That sounds like clickbait.
No, they literally showed it.
No,
Look.
no, we're not discussing that tonight.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Look,
Cause she unfollowed.
at
she
this point
unfollowed
in
him.
time, I am not going to discuss Megan. She is taking a break from social media. She has been through a lot within the last couple of years.
She allegedly unfollowed him. Yeah,
Like,
she unfollowed
She's
him.
What was
a
that key
break.
word right there?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We have to quit letting people have us buy into these stories
Megan
because they allegedly did something. You know what I mean?
continue to
If
take a
Megan
break,
don't tell,
baby.
if Megan don't come on there and say her and that man is not together no more, then it ain't none of my damn business. I
To
don't
be
care no
honest, it
damn
ain't
way.
even my business if she
Right,
they
I don't
are
care.
together.
So
It's her life. It
I don't
put
know.
no
I
money
don't
in my
understand why
pocket.
we get so wrapped up in celebrities'
Because a lot
relationships.
of people would be so geeked up about black love And they
That
it's
don't
like
got nothing to do with black love. They
swear to
just being
God, they be-
nosy.
Hello.
Like I don't care who she's sucking or fucking. I don't care.
Mhm.
That's not my business.
It
'Cause
ain't
it ain't
me.
it ain't affecting my
me.
lifestyle or my life. So why should I care?
That's
I don't care. It's interesting to read. You know what I mean?
toilet
To
paper.
have
That's something to read
some
on the
kind of
toilet.
insight into these celebrities, lives or whatever. But
It just helps. It helps the time go by.
yeah.
Oh, this is a mirror.
JP talking about leave Megan alone.
Hey,
ain't messing with her.
Let Megan live. Leave my
Yes.
homegirl alone. That's my
Been through
dad.
enough.
All right. Well, we enjoyed having you, Nene. Might have to try and get you back.
This was fun. I enjoyed it. Thank y'all for getting me out the house.
Man, I'm just glad that we can give you that opportunity. We were supposed to been link up, and we finally did. Shout out to the yard one time.
TS.
You seen the president on the news?
You. I thought you knew, bitch.
Can't take folks nowhere.
You see, I got on my gear, my Tiger gear. You know what I'm saying? I've recently become a lifetime alumni member. Yeah.
I seen that.
Yeah. So I'm TSU down to the socks.
I ain't playing with you. But let's see what he say. JP says sorry. I've been missing the show. Man, it's all good, bro. Again, in life, don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're elevated and celebrated. Four Kings Podcast, ENT. We're out.